It's back to football. I'm Seth Burnett with the Backups Podcast. I'm here with my man, my boy, my homie, my brother, the shortest man I know. I'm just kidding. They're midgets in the world. Or, wait, little people. Tex Glisten. Tex, say hello.
That's rude, man. I'm the tallest 5'6" guy you'll ever meet.
Yep, I know. It's great. It's fine. You can just punch my shins next time you see me. It'll be great. We're got a great show for you today. We're trying to get back to our roots with football because, honestly, I'm just kind of bored of NBA at this point because there's no games. There's no games. So it's just like, oh, will this person do this? Oh, I just don't care anymore. Like, I'm tired of listening to stories about, Kawhi's camp and how shitty they are, and they're releasing bullshit stories like he might want to go to the Clippers. Like, what is that? Tex, I need the over-under on the percent chance that Kawhi Leonard would ever go to the Clippers.
35. 35%.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, we're going to talk about foosball today. We're going to get each of the divisions in football, and we're just kind of break them down and talk about what happened with their draft and what we see happening for them next year, any rumblings we hear coming out of camp, and just get back to it. So, Tex.
What's up, man?
Let's do this shit!
Ready, set, hold on tight, folks. We're bringing in the Backups. It's the Backups Podcast with your hosts, Seb and Professor Tex. Let's do this thing.
Dun, 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 dun. Good time.
All right, so let's jump right into it. I mean, which division you want to talk about first, man?
All right, so my thought when I was formulating this idea, and it just came to me this morning when you text, I felt kind of bad because Tex, I thought you were mad at me because you texted me like this list of like 4 things that maybe we could talk about. And I was like, no, fuck that. Let's just, I want to talk about football. And that Tex didn't see my response. So I spent the whole day like, man, I guess Tex is really sad that we're like, I just shit all over his idea immediately.
Yeah, and I didn't even think about it that way because, well, I didn't even see your text message. So you're playing this all out in your head. And at the same time, now that I think about it, man, I really did put some thought into those, and I was pretty pumped about them. But it's basically football season. Like, come on, we're under 100 days here, folks, and I'm fairly certain we're under 60. So it's time to jump back into it. And you know what? The listeners want to hear about football. So guess what? We're going to give them what they want, right?
Yep, absolutely. So in terms of divisions in the NFL, I was thinking we go from worst to first. And I think we're both in agreement that at the top of our heads, the AFC East is probably overall going to be the weakest division in football this year.
Yeah, and you know what? When we brought this up, when we were talking about it, the first thought that came to my mind was the AFC East, and that's usually how I go with decisions like that. In terms of whenever you think of like the greatest basketball player, baseball player, whatever, they have to be instant gut reactions, and those are typically who you consider to be the answer to those questions. So worst division in the NFL for me, instantly I thought of the AFC East, and that's no disrespect to the Patriots because they've really just, I guess, shadowed the AFC East, and because of their greatness. It's really weird, right? Like the Patriots' greatness, because they've been so consistently great, and I keep saying that, it's really overshadowed how completely shitty the rest of those teams in that division have been for like 20 years.
Right.
So, I don't know. I mean, we'll dive into it a little bit more here shortly, but yeah, I'm right there with you, man. AFC East first came to mind, and I think that's where, a good place to start.
Well, okay, so normally what I'm looking at, when I need to have like all of the divisions of football on the screen at the same time, broken up, I'll go to ESPN and I just hover the NFL tab at the top, and it brings down all the teams by each division. And I was sitting there and I was looking at it. I was going, okay, so which team? And I'm looking at it, and I was like, okay, so I could essentially name like 2 teams from each of these divisions that are like, I'm pretty sure going to be good. And then I got to the AFC East, and I was like, Patriots are probably, like, odds are that they're still going to be good. And then that was it. like if you look at the NFC East, Eagles and maybe the Cowboys. Maybe. I still don't have a ton of faith in the Cowboys right now. But like I think they have more of a chance of being good, in my opinion, than the Dolphins.
True.
You know what I mean? Or the Bills. I mean, yeah, of course, the Bills went to their first playoffs in like 30 years or some crazy shit last year, but that was because the Ravens, right?
No, not the Ravens.
Lost.
Oh, yes.
No, yeah, exactly. And everyone else, NFC North, I would say Vikings and Packers. South, the NFC South is going to be redonkulous this year. NFC West, Rams and 49ers. AFC, or yeah, you know what I'm saying though. Like each of the divisions, I'm like, well, this team like has a lot of potential to be good. And I look at the AFC East, and I kind of want to just shit in my hand and throw it out the window. And whatever I hit would probably be better than 3 of those teams of the 4. You know what I mean?
I thought you were going to finish that off with and wipe it by slapping your face, but whatever. Okay.
Sounds like you're into freakier stuff than I am.
I've got plans, my friend, after we get off this podcast.
Gross. So yeah, let's talk about this. Let's talk about, in your opinion, what's going to be the weakest division, or sorry, the weakest team in that division this year?
Well, let's recap the teams in the division for our noobs out there, or our less than fanatical fans. We got the Buffalo Bills, New York Jets, Miami Dolphins, and New England Patriots. Just so everybody is aware, since the year 2000, that's 18 years, folks. Since the year 2000, the New England Patriots have only lost the division. They have, how do I say this? The New England Patriots have won the division 15 out of 18 years. That's a better way to put it. Okay. So those.
What were the other teams?
The other teams were. Hold on. Do you have it pulled up?
No, no. I'm just saying, like, what are the other teams that won?
Well, I'm asking you this so that you can fucking guess, Seb.
Oh no. Do you have it pulled up? Do you know?
I've got it pulled up. I'm looking at it right now. Okay, I want you to guess.
Let's say, Jets 1 year. No, Jets 2 years, Dolphins 1 year.
There's 3. You saying Jets, Dolphins, and Bills, 1 each?
I say no. I said Jets like 2 years. They did it twice, and the Dolphins did it once.
Okay, you got it flipped. Dolphins have done it twice. They won in 2000 and 2008. And if you remember 2008, the Patriots did not win the division with I think a 10-6 record, or 11 no, that's what it was. 2008, the Dolphins had the tiebreaker. The Patriots had 11-5 record with who as their starting quarterback?
I think a man by the Matt Castle name is the guy, right?
By the Matt Castle, that is correct. So Dolphins had the tiebreaker, so they ended up winning the division. So, which was a really, really weird year for just the Patriots and the NFL in general. That very odd circumstance to have an 11-5 record and still not win the division. But the Bills have not won the division since 1995. So,
Jesus.
Just to give you some, perspective on how big last year was for them to even make the playoffs. But on top of that, I also want to throw this other stat at you that I thought was pretty staggering. Since the year 2000, past 18 years, Seb, you know how many times the Patriots have not won 10 games? At least 10 games in a season.
Twice?
Twice. Yeah. 2 times. 2000, which was Bill Belichick's first year. And then 2002, the year after they won the Super Bowl, they went 9-7. So outside of that, the Patriots have won at least 10 games 16 out of 18 years. So, okay, we're going to circle this back to the original question and last to first. If you are a betting man, you would bet that the Patriots are going to win the division. So, while I want to be the person that comes here and says, "Oh, this is the year," I've probably been saying that for the past 5 to 10 years, and it just hasn't happened. So I'm gonna stick with the Patriots being at the top. So
right. Well, no, but we want to talk about the worst.
Okay, but I just went on a really good long tangent, and I started.
I know, and I don't know why. I feel like it's a little misplaced, but sometimes you got to let the little man roll, and that's just what I did this time.
Okay, well, I was giving water cooler stats, so you can go fuck yourself, Seb. All right, let's go.
All right, so what's the worst team? I said the worst.
Fucking Bills, but no, they just went to the playoffs last year. I'm gonna say the Dolphins. If you look at the Dolphins wide receiver core, they have Kenny Stills, Devontae Parker, and Danny Amendola. That right there gives me about 1,400 total yards in a season. Amendola is going to get hurt. Devontae Parker's probably going to get hurt or pull a hammy. Kenny Stills, golly, I mean, he's a reception machine, but inconsistent as well. Their first round pick this year was
Minka Fitzpatrick.
For the Dolphins?
Yeah, dude, that list I sent you must have been a mock. I was just looking at it and I was like, wait a minute, what's happening right here? So we're so
that kind of made me feel a little awkward, so I'm just gonna
no, it's fine. From this list. Switch the Jets and switch the Dolphins.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Crap, I hate you. That makes sense though. Yeah. So that they invested in the defense. They shipped off their star wide receiver.
They shipped off Ndamukong Suh too.
Ndamukong Suh. Well, no, they didn't ship him off, did they? They just didn't re-sign him. They cut him.
It's the same thing.
Shipping him off is literally like, getting something in exchange.
No, I disagree.
I'm gonna pull the same comment I did a few minutes ago. Go fuck yourself, Seb. Yeah. Okay, fine. And Ndamukong Suh and who's their other former wide receiver? I'm drawing a blank.
Oh, Jarvis Landry.
So they have no depth at the wide receiver position. They have no strength at the quarterback position. I think they're in a rebuilding mode, and they're probably looking for a quarterback in 2019. So.
Yeah, I completely agree. I just, I love the Minka Fitzpatrick pick. I like the Mike Gesicki pick. I think they had some good stuff. Kalen Ballage, I'm actually a fan of his, in terms of a good rumbler to pair up with Kenyon Drake, who Tex is really big. You're really high on him. Are you thinking he has, more than 1,000 yards this year?
So I'm kind of caught because, the word right now out of training camp is Ballage is actually looking pretty good. But yeah, as far as Drake is concerned, I've been a fan of his since Alabama. We've spoke about his potential and whatnot over the past few months, and he has an opportunity really to take a hold of the reins. He's a great dual threat running back. In the last 6 games of the season last year, I mean, the dude just exploded onto the map. Relatively low, carries. Over the past 2 years. So that, the job's there for the taking. He just has to step up to the plate.
Yeah.
So
no, I'm right there with you. I just think that even in a weak division like this one, I just feel like the Dolphins don't have the picks for it. And I mean, at the base of everything, unless the rest of your team is really good, you can't have a subpar quarterback and win this. I feel like you can't. Or you just get really lucky with the way things turn out. Like the next team I kind of want to talk about, the Bills. I don't know how. I don't know how they won last year. I don't get it, but okay. Yeah, I
Good
mean, they
defense.
were, and then towards the end of the year, like their rush defense is pretty awful. But anyway, I I liked their draft. I like their draft a lot. Their three big picks, obviously, that come to mind are Josh Allen, Tremaine Edmonds, and Harrison Phillips.
Yeah, solid picks on paper. You hope Allen really turns out, but at the same time, they also landed Aaron Murray. So, borderline big free agent signing quarterback, even though he was out of all the free agents to come out, he was probably one of the last to sign. Signed a 1-year deal.
Wait, who'd you say?
Oh, fuck. Not Aaron Murray. God damn it. Why do I always do this? I'm literally looking at Aaron Murray in my head right now.
AJ McCarron, you
AJ
doofus.
Golly, they're all the fucking same quarterback, dude.
How dare you, sir?
Hey, I'm saying it. Sorry. Colt
Yeah,
McCoy.
so they
I mean, shit. Might as well all be.
I love Josh. The Josh Allen thing is interesting. I don't trust the coaching staff just because, like, the way they handled things last year was just honestly atrocious to me. Not just because I love Tyrod Taylor, just in general, their handling of things. But the idea of getting Josh Allen, their quote unquote franchise quarterback for the upcoming next 10 years, and getting Tremaine Edmonds, who fell. That's a good haul in the first round, and I love Harrison Phillips as like a run stopper, and that's a big reason they picked him up is because their rush defense was not great towards the end of the season due to injuries and just honestly not executing well. And Harrison Phillips really kind of bottles up the mid part of the defensive line. Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to be better than the Dolphins because they did just win. They did just get to the playoffs, but I think they're going to take a step back and kind of be a little less. I don't know. A little less, how the hell did you get here?
Well, here's my thing. Pretty sure LaShawn McCoy is not going to get re-signed. And, I mean, shit, he might be playing for, like, a chain gang.
It might be the longest
squad.
yard.
Yeah, might be the longest yard. So, they've got Chris Ivory, who, God bless him, he's always been, like, second fiddle to running back to every team he's on, been on. He's never really had a full opportunity, or at least taken the reins of the full opportunity. So what I'm getting at is their running backs I'm not impressed with. Tawan Jones, had a few opportunities last year, didn't really do much with them. Their wide receiving core is horrible. Kelvin Benjamin, I think he's like a 300-pound wide receiver. Every year he comes into camp a little bit fatter. And they've got Zay Jones, who I think led the league last year in dropped passes. Really underwhelming wide receiver. They have no wide receiver depth. On top of that, they've got Clay Charles, who was battling injuries all last year. So, hopefully he can come back and be, healthy, but he really hasn't been healthy his entire career. He's battled not only concussions, but also injuries in general. Last year, I think, was his knee. So, I mean, they really did lean heavily on their defense, but they don't have many pieces, in my opinion, to put that together again. So I really do see them, taking a step back with you. So, but yeah, I mean, golly, you got the Bills, the Dolphins, and, that leads us to, I guess, the third team, right? The Jets.
Jets, Jets, baby.
Jets.
Yep.
Now, I think we're both. I mean, I've been a huge, I guess, what would you say, person vocal against the head coach for the Jets.
Yeah, Todd Bowles.
Todd Bowles, don't like him. No offense to him, I just don't think he is. I don't know, football savvy enough, smart enough to lead a team. But they're putting some pieces together, and I like the Sam Darnold pick. I think it couldn't have worked any better for the Jets, in my opinion.
No, I mean, considering what is Josh McCown, right? They have him. It's like their locker room glue guy. Apparently, Teddy Bridgewater looks great. and they can let I think honestly they have the most favorable quarterback like situation in the division. I mean, of course, Tom Brady, but I would feel more comfortable as like the Jets quarterback position than the Patriots. I mean, in how to say this, in terms of, yes, Tom Brady has, the potential to be Tom Brady again for another season. That's great. But what happens if he doesn't? Like, you drafted Danny.
What happens if he hits that wall?
What?
What happens if he hits that wall?
Yeah. Like what? Danny Etling, the 7th round pick out of LSU that can't like get a quarterback to be good since anybody, it seems. What? Jamarcus, Matt Flynn, is that who we're going to go with? No. And they still don't know how to develop a quarterback there. And I feel like the Patriots are playing with house money at this point. I get it. I get it. It's like, okay, we've run with Tom this long. Let's just, do it for another season. Let's put some pieces around him. We'll get to that in a second. The Jets situation, I just think it's an interesting team. I like what they've done on defense. I like their secondary a lot. It's so good, in my opinion. They've done such a good job, and in a division in which you need it if you're going against the Patriots. Even though I think the Pats are going to rely more on the run this year than they have before, but still, I just see the Jets being the second best team in this division. I think Teddy Bridgewater is going to be a bigger deal than people are giving him credit.
Well, and that's one of the reasons that they brought him in. He was relatively inexpensive signing. Didn't really hurt too much against the cap, and it was very little risk and a lot of reward. There's talk about them potentially being able to ship Teddy Bridgewater mid-season to a quarterback needy team that happens each and every year. And all reports out of training camp are Teddy is looking very fresh, very good. And McCown is taking that leadership role. He's done it before. He's going to do it again. He is a true professional. He's not only working with Teddy Bridgewater, but also Sam Darnold, who is in a beautiful position to be able to sit for a year. Having that luxury to sit and learn for a season is going to do wonders for Sam Darnold. And I like that aspect of it. They brought in some pretty cool free agent signings like Isaiah Crowell and Thomas Rawls. Now, Rawls has always battled injuries, and Crowell can't catch a beach ball if you throw it at him.
And he can't find the end zone to save his life some way, somehow.
No. They still have Bilal Powell. So you're looking at another running back by committee. Their wide receivers, Quincy Umanura. Is it not Umanura? Quincy, how do you say his fucking last name?
Enunwa? Something like that, I think.
Well, damn it, Quincy, this is America. You got to have American name. We're going to name him Quincy.
Change your name to something like Spencer Long. Something American,
Oh my gosh, we are so horrible. They have Robbie Anderson, good old Robbie. What did he say? I always loved referring this to you.
What is it? I'm gonna have sex with your wife and then come in her eyes. Something great.
Yep. I mean, that's a line. I can't tell you how many times I've used that at the club.
I know, right? That's my pickup line. I'm just like, hey, girl, what's up? You want to do this? Actually, that's in my Tinder profile. I just explicitly tell girls that's what I'm into. I'm just kidding. I don't have a Tinder profile.
You just called yourself out. That's awkward. Terrell Pryor landed with the good old Jets.
Yes, he did.
Did you know that?
I did. I think the fact that they're kind of wide receiver needy in terms of like a good, reliable one. I think Robbie Anderson, while like he's good, I just like, is he going to stay out of trouble? Who knows? I think Terrell Pryor might have another resurgence because I just feel like Teddy Bridgewater is going to be able to get the ball to him pretty efficiently.
Yes, sir. So, I don't know. I don't like the head coach and haven't really liked the way that they've gone in previous years. It looks like there's a little bit of promise on that team. So, who knows, man? They could surprise and win the division, but...
Well, I mean, you look at this, though. Like, look at the things that they did in the offseason, man. Like, signing Tremaine Johnson. I'm sorry. We already have a really good we already have a really good secondary. You know what we should do? I think I got a good idea. Let's have Tremaine Johnson come in with Jamal Adams. What a good one. I love it. I absolutely love what they decided to do with that. I think it's a big thing, pairing him with J.J. Wilcox up in that safety. It's just I think it's real. I think it's interesting.
It's given the defense a little bit of swagger, right? Like they haven't had this type of swagger since I think Revis and was there years ago. So
right.
Yeah. I like the moves that they're doing. And that in terms of teams that have gotten better, I think year after year you always look at the Patriots and they lose key pieces or they trade them away or whatever, but it always seems like they just reload. And I just don't get that sense from them this year. I think if anything, they've taken a little bit of a step back. There's talks of, Rob Gronkowski being on the trading block and a little bit of tension there internally with both Rob and Tom Brady, and whether it's Belichick or ownership. So, they lost Brandon Cooks and traded him away. Actually, made money on that deal. But you look at their wide receiver. Golly, why am I doing this? Am I alive right now? What's his name? The guy was hurt.
Oh God, damn it! You did it to
Edelman.
Yeah, Julian Edelman. You did it to me this time.
Julian Edelman. So he's banned with failing a drug test. So he's banned for the first 3 or 4 games of the season. I mean, golly, they lost Amendola. Edelman's gone for the first 3 or 4 games of the season. Brandon Cooks isn't there anymore. Rob Gronkowski's talked about being traded. Brandon Browner killed someone, so that's cool.
Look,
why are we laughing?
No,
it's true.
Brandon Browner was a Brandon Bolden.
No, it was Brandon Browner, dude.
Anyway, what's interesting is I feel we talk about that, but I feel like the Patriots actually did pretty well this offseason. I know it's weird. I think the Adrian Claiborne signing was freaking genius because I think that's exactly what they needed along that defensive line because it was bad. It was not good. Hopefully Dante Hightower stays healthy. I like Sony Michel, man. I like that pick. I like the Isaiah Wynn pick. I like the Duke Dawson pick. I mean, he had a lot of troubles coming out of Florida, but, man, he's a really good nickel corner, and I think he just fits well with that team and what they like to do. They have Stephon Gilmore, who's a really good cornerback, bro. And I don't know, man. Maybe they rely – I think they go back to basics this year, and they don't rely on Tom Brady throwing for 500 yards in the Super Bowl.
Well, I don't think it's by choice. I mean, hell, we just went over their wide receivers. Who's going to catch the fucking ball? Right?
Well, I mean, I feel like that's never been an issue. Like, Tom Brady has never needed name wide receivers.
Well, no, but I'm just saying in general, you can't lose that many receptions and replace it with people that don't have true experience. You just can't do it. I mean, Hogan is going to be a great asset. He could be a top 10, top 15 wide receiver in terms of fantasy production. And, Gronkowski is going to catch at least, 1 or 2 concussion. Or sorry, that was he's going to miss at least 2 or 3 games that year. But, that season, if he's on the team, I mean, hell, but, he's going to be a reception monster. But outside of that, I just don't know. I think they're going to have to run out of necessity,
Yeah. Well, I mean, they did do something pretty interesting in terms of their signings this season. I thought I liked it. Looking at the wide receiver core, it's like they're playing the, dear God, please let these people, their lack of production be from being on bad teams, and we can make something of it. And I feel like they have a good list for that. Kenny Britt, who it's Kenny Britt, whatever.
He's with them last year, though.
Yeah, Jordan Matthews. He's one of those that everyone's always been like, dude, he could do it, he might, and he doesn't. He's always hurt.
Yeah.
Philip Dorsett, same damn thing. Malcolm Mitchell, I love Malcolm Mitchell. He's a Georgia boy. I think he's done a really good job. Chris Hogan, if he can stay healthy. And then I think the coup de grace of the entire conversation that I'm having right now is Cordarrelle Patterson. What?
He's a good specialist.
Yeah, that's all it's going to be. And what they're hoping is that Cordarrelle Patterson's physical traits are going to make him an asset for Tom Brady, but they're not. So in the fourth game, after Tom Brady goes 20 for 47, they're going to go, wait a minute. And, there's 11 drops in the game, and everyone, like every wide receiver is in Bill Belichick's doghouse. So they end up signing somebody off the streets.
Bro.
No, who's the Wes Welker? They just they say, Wes, can you give us one game? Can you stop coaching high school ball and come play one game? It'll be great. Yeah, and then they're gonna run the ball, man. Like, because if you look at it, I like their running back by committees, especially this year. I like Rex Burkhead a lot. I think he's actually got potential. Mike Gillislee. I don't know what the hell happened with Mike Gillislee. Honestly, I would love for a Patriots fan to please comment on this podcast or send us a message and tell me what exactly happened to Mike Gillislee last year, because how many touchdowns did he have in the first two games? Like 4. And I remember I sent you a message. And I was like, I was so right because I was high on Mike Gillislee. I said, man, I was so right. And then I don't know what he did. I don't know if he unpurposely fingered Bill Belichick's butthole, just, and he played it off as an oopsie, but Bill really knew that it wasn't. I don't know.
I think it's his name. Like, who wants to yell Gillislee? Like, you can't. That doesn't flow off. Like, White, Burkhead, Gillislee. What? Bless you, Coach. No. We need Gillislee. What? Like, that's a horrible name.
Yeah,
I would change my name.
And I just think it'll be interesting to see what they do in their final season. We're gonna see if McDaniels figures it out, man. Because I don't know, buddy. Because I would love, because obviously McDaniels coming back this year, and my mind is like, it's the reason he did is because they said, look, Mickey, baby, if you stay another year, you get to be the coach.
Well, tell me this. Does Belichick ship Gronkowski off this year?
I would. Wouldn't you?
I mean, that's his MO, right? Like, while they have a shred of value, get something in return.
Well, I mean, and the whole idea is that if they'll let him. Who's the owner again? Everyone talks about. Can't think of his name.
What, for the Patriots?
Yeah.
Fuck. Deb, why are we doing
Robert
this
Kraft.
tonight?
You're terrible at this. I got it. Okay. Anyway, yeah, like if he lets him, because the whole thing last year was Bill Belichick did not want to ship off Jimmy Garoppolo, but Kraft made him. So is this going to be another thing where Bill Belichick says, look, we need to go ahead and, while Gronkowski still has a lot of value, we need to go ahead and get rid of him. Let's get our value for him in the future. And Blank's going to go, or not Blank, but Kraft's going to go, I don't know. The biggest question is, what do you think they could get for Gronkowski?
Well, see, that's the thing. If they haven't shipped him off already, I don't know if the league really is that, if the league is really willing to give anything near what the Patriots are probably asking for.
Sure.
Is he worth a second? I would probably say yeah. Is he worth a first? No, but 100% worth a second, in my opinion. I mean, we talked about the importance of, how big a role these starred, tight ends can have on championship running teams. I'm sure the freaking Falcons would love to have him.
Oh, God,
I mean,
no, actually, no, because no, not even a little bit, because I know exactly what would happen. You want to know what would happen?
What, he'd get a concussion?
No, Steve Sarkisian would turn him into like a blocking only tight end. Now go out there, and I need you to get on that block. I need you to get in there, get me a nice chip block, and that's it. Just stand there. That's all we need, because I can't come up with anything beyond like one step on the field. Does that make sense? I don't understand option routes. I don't understand any of that. What we're going to do, we're going to run it right, and we're going to run it hard.
Do you think Gronkowski would ask Sark if he's drunk?
I think they all know he's just drunk anyway. It's like a given. Gronk's like, dude, what have you been drinking? Can I have some? Because I just feel like if you think Gronk is like big time now, if you think he's larger than life media now, can you imagine Gronkowski on a team in which his right testicle isn't like within Bill Belichick's pincers at every press conference?
I think it'd be funny to see him on like the San Diego Chargers or LA Chargers, whatever the fuck their name is now.
Yeah. Well, that's what we think, guys. That is the AFC East, the weakest division in football in 2019. I'm Seb Burnett. This is my boy Tex. We're here. We're back. We're loving it. Make sure you hit us up on social media. Let us know what you think about this podcast. And you got anything else, Tex?
Subscribe, maybe. That'd be cool.
Subscribe. Oh, wait. Quick story. So I've started this new thing at Orpheus where I'm friends with the taproom manager, Kevin. And we started mixing beers now. Like we do 50-50 splits.
So, but are these like you've never mixed them before? Like this isn't a new thing or this isn't like an old thing. This is like you guys came up with this?
No, I mean, like, other people have done it, but we're doing ones that we haven't, like, he hasn't done before. Like, we did their new one, Wandering Blues, which is a blueberry sour, and we paired it with their Plants Have No Memories. And it's really good. Like, it's grape and blueberry. Oh, no. It's delicious.
Golly.
So, like, it's become a thing on Reddit, which is kind of interesting. Other people are like, wow, I'm going to go in and try that.
That's awesome. I'd love to go in and beer.
Yeah, I know.
Just
the Burnett.
That's so funny.
I wanted him to call it Dumbass Plants or Blue, but, you know, he wouldn't do it.
No,
he wouldn't do it. All right. That's what we think, guys. Thanks for listening.
You've been listening to the Backups Podcast. Follow us on Instagram, find us on iTunes, and visit the website at www.thebackups.com with a Z for more.